Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TV Talk Crossover Edition Part 2. I'm Steven.
Jake.
Spencer.
And we will be talking to you about the remainder of the crossover, or the crossover as a whole. I shouldn't say or, and the crossover as a whole. First off, I just want to applaud all of the actors.
Steven.
That amazing shot at the end with all of the heroes dressed up in costumes being awarded and acknowledged by the acting president of Arrowverse, it made me super happy. As a DC comic nerd, as a fanboy, I was just sitting there smiling because they're no longer vigilantes. They're heroes.
And it opens up the opportunity to where we can have these bigger villains such as the Dominators, where it's like, the president needs our help. Now they're familiar.
Right.
They're in communication. It just makes more sense now.
It's so awesome. Now, the only confusing thing is that everyone who lives in that world is going to be like, wasn't there a girl in blue and red who could fly?
And why isn't she there anymore?
Where did she go?
Anyway, I'd also like to point out, remember that point in the last episode where I said that in Legends that they were going to go back in time?
You were slightly wrong.
I was slightly wrong.
Because you thought they were going to solve the issue.
I thought I was going to.
You were close.
They kind of solved.
They
actually made a bigger problem.
They made a bigger problem by going back in time.
But they did go back in time.
The episode was very Legends of Tomorrow-esque, you know?
Mm.
So, and each episode did have a feel of its own show.
Especially Supergirl.
With the crossover. Well,
I mean,
Supergirl was its own show.
So did Arrow.
30 seconds of... Yeah, well, that was Arrow. Spencer, what'd you think?
well, I was a little upset that Cisco didn't put aside his stuff till the very end, but, I'll deal with it.
Hey, you know who talked about it?
Felicity?
Actually, himself, when he made a problem in the...
Oh, that's right.
But, she tried.
She tried.
I thought it was really good. It was more fun. The only reason anybody's watching this is just to see everybody next to each other in shots. That's the whole point. And the fight scene at the end. That's the only reason we watched it.
All of the fighting was cool.
There wasn't much plot,
How does a shot where Steel, Supergirl, and the Green Arrow and Firestorm are standing next to each other give me more of a giddy feeling and heroic inside than Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman?
Because these characters are done right. These characters have been written well and look good and stand for something good. And it doesn't make you hate your life and feel like you need to shove 20 pounds of chocolate in your mouth and cry yourself to sleep. These characters make you want to go out and save a kitten from a tree. And that's what's awesome about it. And even Green Arrow, one of the darker shows of this whole universe, he was shown in a different light. And even though he was a little grumpy pants at times, he still brought, energy and light and happiness to this episode. And I thought it was very interesting to see Green Arrow fight alongside Heatwave.
Yeah, Heatwave has just grown into this character that I don't want Legends to ever be without now.
He's very interesting because his original reason he was there was just because Captain Cold was there. Captain Cold is now no longer there, and he's sticking with the group.
He's only there because of what he did, though.
Yeah.
Because Captain Cold gave himself, and he was like, okay, well, you're a hero to me.
But he loves them.
Absolutely.
He'd risk his life.
I can't wait for the day that Ray makes him a costume. And he just hates it at first.
It's just
he's going to have one.
It's Heatwave, they're in a trouble, the ship's going down, and Heatwave's like, you know what? This is my moment. He just comes out, and he's pointing his fist down, he's like, no, I'm bad, and that's okay. It's okay to be bad. And then he saves the day.
Do you want us to get sued?
I didn't finish. Anyway, I would also like to point out that moment. Now I'm going to be a little bit of a stickler here on this episode, because it did feel like the writers had too many heroes thrown at them, because there were some moments where just you couldn't really explain it. Such as the moment where there's a bunch of men with guns being pointed at the man whose only superpower is to turn into steel.
He's a great historian, too.
He is a great historian. You know what historians know about? Whoa. You know what historians know about, especially in the 1950s? Guns. You know who really likes guns? The government. You know what you should probably do when there's a bunch of guns pointed at you? Use your only superpower.
Yeah. Well.
Or how about the fact that when they're in that government base, they say, oh, they're using something to deactivate their superpowers. Okay, you know what? It's a comic book show. I'll accept that for Steel. But the woman who gets...
only that the
woman who gets her powers from an ancient tribal necklace
They also didn't say it was only that room. They said that it was what the dart
Oh,
shot
the
in them
dart.
affected their powers, and then bam, when they get out of that room.
Only one of them had powers.
Yeah,
she
I know.
gets her powers from the
It's not
necklace.
powers then. It's
Right.
like
It can't
Adam's
be
suit
affected.
practically. You know?
So the writing was a little lackluster and somewhat messy, and I don't know who finalized the project, but I think they may have realized that, which is why they made everything else look so cool.
Because overall, I still had a good time. I had a great time watching this, but it's just one of those things where this has been like some moment. It has happened before with these shows, but this was one of the biggest moments. I think it was just because this was such a big event where I was like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, because it takes 4 nights, so you're patiently waiting for each episode, and you like if it was a movie, it's acceptable to have that one scene where it's a little slower and there's more dialogue and there's more emotion. But since this one took 3 and 30 seconds of a night, I think that each night needed to be intense, and I don't think it lived up to that hype that they set.
Where was she?
In the end, you're right.
She wasn't even in the episode.
Oh my God, you're right.
Speedy wasn't there.
She fought.
They
all
couldn't
the
get
way
the
up.
actress that day.
She fought all the way up until the end, and Diggle stayed. Felicity stayed.
Yeah, that is wild.
Maybe she was.
She was probably after.
She was too shaken from her seeing her parents. She had to go do mayor business for all.
Yeah,
of
that
it.
is true.
Okay, sure.
I'll accept that. You know what?
But I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to accept something that I thought of because the writers didn't talk about it.
Yeah, she wasn't anywhere there.
And that scene where Felicity and Cisco realized that their friends had been taken by the government, but no one knew how they realized that.
Again, that is. I can almost guarantee, like watching that, you can tell there's a scene missing.
I bet you they asked Gideon, like, where are our friends? And Gideon's like, well, history shows that they're documented to be in prison and
Experimented
whatever.
on and dead or something.
Yeah,
like that.
maybe.
And then on top of it, I mean, I'm not gonna fight with it because it's just whatever. But they totally stormed the fucking military base and literally take out all the guards by themselves. I don't care if you have a future.
I
gun.
was gonna say, give them something a little bit more powerful than that. Like okay, I'm gonna use a bad example here, but like Rick and Morty, when Rick and Morty get the super power suits, like you can accept Morty's not a fighter, but you give him a power suit.
All
he's gonna
they
take
had
out some
was a
people.
little laser
They like
gun.
a little laser gun. It's like
And even then, they could.
They
do it again
murdered
already.
people in that case. And well, at least that's that first time, but whatever.
Still,
Does anyone
yeah.
remember when Flash murdered someone like in cold blood, turned a bullet around on his?
I was like, what's Flash? Oh my god!
He points the bullet like right at his heart, and we're like, holy shit!
Good call, Flash. Good call.
It was the right thing to do.
But out of all of this, all these mistakes, I guess you could call them, that ending was so worth it. To see them get awarded, to see them, standing with each other, to see Supergirl, Green Arrow, and Flash having a 3-way conversation and being emotional and being like, come back anytime. Here's the thing.
See, yeah, and call me crazy.
What?
I just cut it off at 3-way, so.
So
That's the fan fiction Jake's working on.
Why am I always working on the fan fictions? But I'd also like to point out, I really like the scene at the end of the bar when they're flashing.
Yeah.
It was just them two.
Because they brought it down to the original. And it was like, hey,
I mean,
buddy,
it was
we've
a
been
weird way
Okay,
to
no,
end
you're
the
saying that
legend.
brought down the original. What really brought it down to the original
Sarah.
was Sarah and Oliver interacting.
Yes.
That was great too.
It was weird that the end of
Legends
the
left.
Legends episode was Oliver and Flash. Like,
Well, because the end of the Legends episode happened, and then the last scene was the end of the crossover.
Mm-hmm.
However, it really is fun to see because all these crossovers first one started with Barry and Alan, or Barry and Alan, the two best friends, Barry and Oliver, and then it was Barry Oliver again, and now it's Barry Oliver and more. But it brought back down to just the two of them, and they talked and they've been through it, and I hope to God that the future episodes of Arrow acknowledge the fact that he was a hero. The Green Arrow saved the world from aliens with other superheroes, and they start looking at him, and police communicate with him.
They already are.
a little bit.
A little bit. He still goes in the nighttime. He still does dark things, and I really just want to see them. I want to see Green Arrow swooping around like Spider-Man in the daytime, but with his arrow.
You know who does more?
Spider-Man like things.
Yeah.
Ragman.
Ragman. Where was he?
They paid him for one episode.
I know.
All right,
He didn't even do anything.
There's a lot of crossover talk here, but I would like to dip into
Into the crossover,
the mid-season.
the video.
No, I was gonna say
Crossover video. There's a lot of crossover.
No, there's a lot of crossover. I want to talk about the mid-season finales because there's a certain someone who is returning. Looks kind of like a memory to me,
Nope.
You think it's actually
I think
him?
it's actually him.
I hope so.
It's about time.
For real. For real. And
So,
a perfect episode. Al Capone.
So I want to go with each of you. So Flash, what do we think is going to happen? They bring Jay Garrick's coming.
Savitar is confronted by Jay Garrick and Flash, but I also saw that Mark Hamill's in this episode. It's more of a Christmas episode, and Mark Hamill looks different than the last Trickster. So I don't know if it's a different world or what's going on, but he is.
I heard it was actual Joker.
That's the rumor.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true.
So I'm gonna make an outlandish prediction here. I'm gonna say either Jay Garrick or Flash gets their speed absorbed by Savitar.
I hope not.
That's not as outlandish as saying like Tommy Merlin comes to save the day or something. So
Okay, so
Well,
imagine.
now
this.
we're moving on. Since we're moving on to Flash, Arrow.
So Arrow, and we'll have a separate video eventually before the mid-season finale comes out, and all of our reasons why Tommy Merlin is Prometheus. But I think we're finding out mid-season finale who Prometheus is, because they did come out with an article saying that Oliver will have to go back to season 1 in order to find himself and be able to take down Prometheus. And I think that may be why they killed Laurel. I think they knew that they needed something for Tommy to not just all of a sudden become good again. They needed him to snap about something once he was revealed, and I think that's why they went and killed Laurel, because Laurel ended up dating Tommy in this world, and he died, and now she's dead, and he's gonna find out it's because Oliver brought her into battle. If he does end up even going sane versus insanity, which is what he probably is at right now, I just really, really want it to be Tommy, and it would make sense as to why
it doesn't make sense for anyone else to be Prometheus.
And if they, it
Felicity's
could.
boyfriend
It could
be Prometheus, and that pissed me off.
But it just would be ridiculous. On-screen Avengers, no Hulk.
No Hulk.
Still on Planet Hulk or something.
Sure.
Versus who?
Everyone
we just saw.
The entire CW universe.
So
the entire CW universe?
let's put that together.
Heroes.
Okay.
We have Iron Man. That's just Ray Palmer. So
I'm going to say Iron Man is better than Ray Palmer. Though.
They're facing off against each other. They're both just as smart. Green Arrow versus Hawkeye. Flash versus Quicksilver.
No,
he's dead. He's dead in that world.
Too late. Flash wins.
No. This is why Flash doesn't win. You're forgetting one giant powerhouse in the Marvel Universe. Vision.
Vision beating Flash?
Vision beating all of them. The
Okay.
dude is made out of not Adam.
Can we throw in Gideon?
Vibranium.
Can we take the time ship and literally just
I'm
have
assuming
Gideon
that the tech support follows with the CW universe.
Ant-Man versus Adam can fight both Iron Man and Ant-Man
together, their powers combined.
Yes.
Thor is going against Supergirl.
Thor's going against Supergirl, as he does versus Superman in the comics.
Yeah.
So I feel like Captain America would fight Green Arrow.
I feel like that would happen
Because
too.
Probably
Hawkeye versus Green Arrow, that's just silly. It just doesn't matter. Like Oliver.
Hawkeye would versus Steel.
The Flash is overpowered. Take
Flash
out the
is
Flash
bullshit.
and the Avengers probably.
Yeah, if we can't have both, they can't have Flash.
Can I just... You're yelling, and it's going to kill this megaphone, but I do want to comment. Thank you for saying Flash is overpowered, because he's my favorite superhero of all time, and people look at him like he's a joke just because he can run fast.
No.
And it's like, you don't realize the kind of things the Flash can do.
After the scene where Zoom snapped the neck of 30 people in half a second, you start to think like the power
forces.
if Flash was evil,
Right.
there's not much you can do.
Oh wait, sorry. Actual crossover talk. I really liked the fact that because they've always kind of muted the Flash's like true power, but they kind of touched on it in this episode when him and Supergirl are going across the entire country.
Yes, thank you. They finally used, because like they usually they narrow it down to one city. He can run around the whole city and save people.
Oh no, he can go anywhere in the country.
But in the Justice League, he's the one that goes across the country and fixes things in multiple cities. And if one Justice League member is in trouble, he just runs to that state and saves them. He runs to China. In one of the most recent rebirths, he runs all the way across the ocean to help Wonder Woman.
And this is my I'm sorry. Now I gotta complain about something again. But that's why I also don't like the thing that's like, who's faster, Supergirl? It's Flash. It's Flash. Not even by Like,
It's just polite competition.
it's not even close, though.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
friendly.
Nice.
Yeah. No, but it's like, I want it to be like it is in the comics, when Superman and Flash race and Superman wins, and Superman's like, whoa, how did I do that? And Flash is like, I was walking for the cameras.
Exactly.
Like, I want that kind of interaction. Like, Flash is still like a jokester. He's like, yeah, cool. Like, he's just messing with him when he's like doing it, because he knows his true potential, which they don't really touch on that. It's like, oh, they're actually competing at this point. Like, I don't, like, when Flash was running around the country, I hate to say it, and they even had the dumb joke with Felicity going, oh, this sounds like a job for Supergirl. No, it's not. It really isn't.
That was a great joke.
It really isn't. You know why? Because this is a job for the Flash. Because, you know why? Because she could probably go to one city and do that.
Firestorm just do this, turn anything into anything?
It's,
Is that a
I
whole
feel
deal?
like it's one of those things where it's like, you've overdrained your power, let's take a break.
Who gets the fifth night?
Oh,
If they
Friday?
make another superhero, who gets the fifth night? I mean, don't get me wrong, they're not going to do a show on Friday.
Yeah,
night.
Friday nights never work. But Teen Titans.
Yes, please. Roy Harper, Wally West,
Artemis.
sure. Well, that kind of defeats the purpose because Roy Harper's in there.
Yeah, but Roy Harper's the leader. He's the Robin.
No,
And he just doesn't do archery stuff.
he should.
He just puts on a Robin.
No,
costume.
because we need to get throw Ragman in there.
Oh, okay.
This is awkward now.
Ragman, please join the Legends of Tomorrow. I don't like Arrow anymore.
What?
No, I like Arrow.
I like Arrow. It's way better than the past 2 seasons.
It's way better than the
That
past.
doesn't-
You liked Ra's al Ghul though, so.
I didn't mind.
I liked Ra's al Ghul.
Seriously though, build a Teen Titans. That sounds like a great idea.
And Friday, it would die.
Oh,
on
wait.
Friday. They could do Sunday.
Why is she not part of it? She'd be a great leader.
Because Arsenal takes over for Speedy once Speedy starts doing. I don't know.
They could do Sunday night.
They have too many archers. Anyway, that's our crossover talk. We hope you enjoyed it. There was a lot that happened, and yet there feels like there wasn't a lot that happened because they were all selective with what they had shown. I think the biggest thing to take out of this is that we now have 2 big things. One, we now have a crap ton of heroes that will get the recognition they deserve.
Keyword.
Where the heck was Thea? Thank you very much. We hope you tune in. The next time we talk, we'll probably be talking about mid-season finales or Walking Dead. Or Rick and Morty's premiere, Season 3. That's coming up. I'm Steven.
I'm Jake.
I'm Spencer.
And thanks for joining us.
You don't like it when I talk a lot about Ragman, do you, Steven? He doesn't like it when I keep mentioning Ragman. He doesn't respect the rags.
And make sure to join us this May with me and Spencer for Game of Thrones talk. That's where it ends.